Morning, everyone. My name is Bradley Moran. I'm the Dean of the University of Alaska Fairbanks College of Fisheries and Ocean Sciences. I'm here today with Dr. Bob Foy, one of our outstanding alumni. But first, let me tell you a little bit about our college. The central operation of our college is located at University of Alaska Fairbanks, right in Fairbanks. However, our footprint includes 5 locations across Alaska, and we partner with University of Alaska Southeast, University of Alaska Anchorage, to meet diverse academic and research needs in a number of areas, including inland and marine fisheries, marine biology, oceanography, and changing ecosystems. We also operate major research facilities, including the 260-foot research vessel Sekuliak. The diversity of our mission ensures that any student, regardless of place, has the opportunity to benefit from these programs. And Alaska benefits as our programs and collaborations continue to strengthen and grow. Now back to our guest. We know that our College of Fisheries and Ocean Sciences produced crucial marine research and trained many of our state's top scientists. But did you know that some of our alumni have gone on to hold top federal research positions and still continue to serve the state? In that regard, I'm joined today by one of our exceptional graduates, who, after earning his Master's of Science in Fisheries and a PhD in Oceanography from University of Alaska Fairbanks College of Fisheries and Ocean Sciences, has gone on to hold a top position in Alaska with the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration as the Science and Research Director of the Alaska Fisheries Science Center. Bob, welcome.
Thanks, Brad, and good morning. It's great to be here with you today. I'm excited to share my experiences with UAF and talk a little bit about how CFOS has provided me a lot of opportunities with respect to research in my career in Alaska.
Super. So let's talk about that. Tell me why you wanted to enter the fisheries field and how you ended up at UAF.
Well, that's a great question, Brad, and a long convoluted story that starts back in the great state of Michigan, a Great Lakes state. I have obviously had lots of draw to aquatic sciences being from Michigan. I studied limnology and trophic ecology at the University of Michigan, and I spent quite a bit of time on the university vessel, the Laurentian. And I learned a lot about linkages between physical, biological environment on the Great Lakes. The great experiments that have happened on the Great Lakes taught me a lot about the ecosystem, marine ecosystem. I was interested in particular in how the environment affected the rest of that ecosystem and then eventually humans. That led me to fisheries courses. I had a desire to take what I was learning about different perturbations in the aquatic invertebrate population in the Great Lakes. And I started asking questions about, well, how does this apply to humans? And that's when I was directed towards fisheries. And a number of colleagues and a mentor of mine said that if I wanted to do fisheries, I need to go to Alaska. And if I'm going to go to Alaska, I need to go to the University of Alaska, and that was the place to go. That was the place to study, to gain my academic experience, and really be exposed to some of the best managed fisheries and some of the best aquatic science in the world. So after that, I got my master's degree at the Cooperative Research Unit at UAF there in fisheries. So with that, I had the experience of working up in Northwest Alaska, working with indigenous communities, better understanding the effects, again, of the environment on fish species up there on the Noatak River. And through that process, I was exposed to oceanography from a CFOS class. At the time, it was the School of Fish and Ocean Sciences, and on fisheries and oceanography. And I realized that I had found home when I took that course, and was able to take the oceanographic aspects of what I was interested in, combine it with the fisheries that I was interested in, and that set me on a path there. overall, I think my experiences at UAF really provided me with the opportunities for that cross-disciplinary academic experience. And that really rang true for me, and it is really, in my opinion, what we need from academia in the state of Alaska right now with all the challenges that we have.
Right. So that's fascinating. Thanks, Bob. And on that, let's just take that thread a little further. So what led you to stick around in Alaska after you earned your degrees?
Well, there were a handful of reasons, but I loved the great state of Alaska, and I really didn't want to leave. So I took a faculty position within CFOS. Again, it was SFOS at the time, and it was a dream come true. It was a goal of mine to more directly tie the academic experience with the commercial fishing interests, and I was down in Kodiak. Being the second or third largest commercial fishing port in the country, it really gave me an opportunity. It gave my students an opportunity to work with the end users and the stakeholders, but put together an academic program at the same time. It was an excellent opportunity for students, excellent opportunity for me. And it was clear that we needed students trained in both fisheries and oceanography, that we needed to better understand what was happening with climate change, and that to do that, the expertise within CFOS really is needed to tie those two pieces together. After that, I took an opportunity at NOAA Fisheries, also there in Kodiak, in 2007 to run the crab fisheries program. And what this allowed me to do was take my experience in the academic world, tie that into a management agency, and directly partner with both the industry and with academia, which was really exciting. The breadth of the scale changed, and that applied nature of NOAA Fisheries and doing science at the same time really appealed to me.
It's fascinating, Bob. And so what is it you're working on in these days in your current position?
Yeah, thanks, Brad. Of course, these days we're dealing with a pandemic, and it seems like what I'd like to be working on more is thinking back about the science, but more and more. In 2018, I moved from Kodiak to Juneau, and I took on the director position for the Alaska Fisheries Science Center. That's the NOAA Fisheries Science Wing in the Alaska region. We have a few hundred staff that are distributed in Seattle, Juneau, Anchorage, Kodiak, Dutch Harbor. We've got facilities in the Pribilof Islands. We've got seawater laboratories in Newport, Oregon, in Juneau and Kodiak. So quite a breadth of a mission perspective there. We're responsible for the management of fisheries in federal waters in Alaska. We're also responsible for the conservation of marine mammals and protected resources in federal waters in the state of Alaska. So to accomplish this huge mission, we have surveys that we conduct throughout the state, stock assessments. In order to accomplish all this, we have biologists, ecologists, mathematicians, statisticians, modelers, economists, physiologists, and oceanographers. And the reason I go through that list is because that is the direct tie to our training needs within CFOS and within the University of Alaska. Absolutely critical that we have that expertise, that we're producing scientists at multiple levels, master's and PhD, as well as bachelors, to fill out all those needs in our agencies, and we're just one agency of many. From a fisheries perspective, it's a pretty exciting mission that we have in NOAA Fisheries, with Dutch Harbor and Kodiak being the largest ports in the country, some of the most lucrative fisheries in the country and the world in Alaska, with the top employer in Alaska as well. Fisheries really is one of the top two premier industries in Alaska, in my opinion. I might be a little bit biased there on the fisheries front. We also provide co-management science with indigenous communities that are subsisting on whales, seals, and other species. So we provide the science that goes with that co-management. And I wanted to highlight a couple things in particular that I think are critical moving forward in the new position that I've taken on in the last couple of years, when I'm able to focus on the science and where we're going. First and foremost is climate change. Climate change is really impacting everything we do. And it's absolutely critical that the agencies that are managing our natural resources partner with academia. The relationship with CFOS couldn't be more important than it is now, in terms of not just producing scientists, but producing science and trying to mesh our missions in order to address climate change. We've seen such staggering changes in the last handful of years that have led to extreme events that are making managing the living marine resources extremely difficult. And we're really looking for partners, and the need to boost our partnerships in order to address this in a way that's going to allow our communities to be sustainable, that's going to allow the economic engine in our fisheries to be sustainable. So that's really critical. And with all the positions that I mentioned before, it's critical across the suite of expertise. Lastly, I just wanted to, highlight that, we are the lead federal marine research agency in the Arctic. University of Alaska is the university for the United States in the Arctic, and not just the high Arctic, but the entire Arctic. And as things are shifting in the Arctic, I think there's another reason that we need to work together and partner, and the needs for CFOS to be a major player in that nationally and internationally is, again, never been more important. So very much looking forward to continuing our relationship with CFOS. I look back at my time in CFOS, and it really set me up well for an incredible career that I've enjoyed getting here, and I continue to enjoy the career. So thanks to CFOS for that, and looking forward to more.
Super. Well, Bob, you've made us so proud here at CFOS and the university. You're certainly doing incredibly important work to serve the state and help advance crucial research efforts. So thank you so much for that, and we very much appreciate that. Our alumni, like you, are a big part of the amazing story of the college as it continues to grow and evolve. And also the contributions that folks are making within the college and our partners, as you note, to Alaska's scientific advancement, to research, and to industry. So here's a couple of facts. Did you know that CFOS has an all-time high in undergraduate enrollment this past year? The number is about 70 undergraduates. It's fantastic to see that result, particularly with the pandemic, but also in light of some of the budget challenges we're having across the state. Another did you know is that over half of our fisheries graduate student alumni, including Bob, and that's over 500 total, continue to work in Alaska. When I came to this college, I had to ask that question twice. I couldn't believe it. That's a remarkable achievement to have half of the total alumni in fisheries, roughly over 500 individuals, half of them working in the state of Alaska. In addition, CFOS has actually awarded nearly 900 total degrees ever since the early days of the Institute of Marine Science through this academic year. We also in the college secure roughly over $20 million in research funds annually. Nearly all of our graduate students have financial support from fellowships, research grants, and internships that are awarded by companies and our partners and public and private agencies. There's a lot going on at CFOS. I just want to highlight a couple of unique programs that we're focused on right now. One is a new graduate traineeship program being led by some faculty here in the college called Tamamta. It's an NRT program funded by NSF, $3 million program. The lead PI on that is Courtney Carruthers, a faculty member in our college. and its focus is on Indigenous knowledge in fisheries and ocean sciences. I was just told the week before that we have a 9 graduate student cohort in the very first year coming in, all Alaskan Indigenous students in this graduate program. It's phenomenal, phenomenal success. We also have a Blue STEM MBA program with the School of Management. It's fully asynchronous online, one of the only in the nation. And right now we're very actively working on a new Master of Marine Policy degree with the University of Alaska Southeast jointly. This is a great example of the collaboration that we have with Southeast and CFOS. Bob, you mentioned some of the important attention being needed right now to some pressing issues in aquatic systems. This spring, some of our faculty gained broad media attention for their research on the impact of the marine heat wave in the Gulf of Alaska. Also, why Arctic sea ice is melting faster than forecast models predict, and also how ocean predators are contributing to smaller salmon returns, which is very impactful to Alaska and the nation. Some of these degree programs, or all of these degree programs, they really create a direct path for students to enter Alaska's workforce, and they really provide crucial assistance in research, such as to NOAA that serves the state and the country. So I could go on, but I want to say thank you, Bob, so much for joining us today to talk about CFOS and the ways it helped shape your career so far. And with that, I'm going to pass it over to Paul Layer, who'll start a presentation on some of the data behind CFOS. Thanks very much.